The exam room was silent, except for the rhythmic tap, tap, tap of my doctor's pen against his tablet. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking at the screen, his brow furrowed in a way that usually means bad news. I sat there, 92 years of life resting in my joints, feeling the cold crinkle of the paper gown. I prepared myself for the talk, the one about slowing down, the one about managing expectations. But then he looked up. His face was pale. He asked me a question that changed everything. He didn't ask how I was feeling. He asked, "Who are you, really?" Because according to the data on his screen, I shouldn't exist. My markers for cellular inflammation, the very thing that rusts the human body from the inside out, were lower than his medical textbook said was possible for a woman of my vintage. He told me, with a voice that actually trembled a little, that if he didn't know better, he'd think these were the results of a woman in her late 50s. He was shook, truly deeply shaken. And as I sat there, adjusting my pearls and smoothing my blue cardigan, I realized that the 5 secrets I've guarded for decades weren't just my personal habits anymore. They were a biological heist. I have stolen time back from the clock, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. But pay attention, because the 5th habit is the one that most people get wrong, and it's the only reason I'm still standing here to tell the story. Most people think aging is like a car running out of gas. You drive, you use it up, and eventually the tank is empty. But they're wrong. Aging isn't about running out of fuel. It's about the engine getting clogged with soot until it can't breathe. My first habit, the one that made my doctor double-check my glucose levels 3 times, is what I call the ghost window. I haven't eaten a morsel of food after the sun goes down since the year 1978. While the rest of the world is raiding the refrigerator at 10 p.m., fueling their bodies for a sleep they don't need, I am letting my system go dark. There is a specific type of magic that happens in the human body when it is empty and quiet. My doctor calls it autophagy, a fancy word for the body eating its own zombie cells. By the time I wake up, my body has spent 12 hours cleaning the house, scrubbing the arteries, and repairing the DNA. When you eat late, you force your body to focus on digestion when it should be focusing on survival. I chose survival. And every morning when I wake up, I feel like a brand new machine that's just been polished. But a clean machine is useless if the gears are frozen. That leads me to the second habit, the one that allows me to sit on the floor and play with my great-grandchildren without a single groan. I call it the 3-plane ritual. Look at how you move during the day. You walk forward, you sit down, you stand up. You move in a straight line like a train on a track. But trains derail easily. Every single morning, before I even put on my slippers, I move my body in ways that look, well, a bit strange. I twist my spine until it pops like dry wood. I rotate my wrists and ankles in wide, sweeping circles. I move sideways. I reach behind me. I move in all 3 planes of human motion. Why? Because the moment you stop moving in a certain direction, your brain decides you no longer need that range of motion, and it seals the joint shut with biological glue. My doctor was amazed at my flexibility, but it's not because I'm a gymnast. It's because I refuse to let the world turn me into a statue. I move so I can move. If you want to stay young, you have to remind your joints every single day that they are still allowed to be free. The third habit is the one that people think is a luxury, but for me, it's a life or death necessity. It's the cerebral vault. I want you to think about the last time you felt truly, deeply stressed. Your heart raced, your breath got shallow, and your jaw clenched. In that moment, your body released a flood of cortisol. To a cell, cortisol is like acid. It burns. It ages you faster than a decade of birthdays. I've lived through a lot of darkness. I've seen the world break apart and put itself back together. But 30 years ago, I made a pact with myself. I would not allow the outside to dictate the inside. I created a mental vault. Every day at 4 p.m., I sit in total silence for 20 minutes. No phone, no radio, no talking. I just watch my thoughts like they're clouds passing over a lake. I don't judge them, I don't fight them, I just let them pass. My doctor noticed my resting heart rate was that of an elite athlete, and it's not because I run marathons. It's because I've trained my nervous system to stay in the green zone. Most of you are living in the red zone 24 hours a day. You are literally vibrating yourselves into old age. You have to learn to turn the vibration off. The fourth habit is something my doctor didn't expect to hear when he asked about my diet. He expected me to say I eat kale and blueberries. And I do. But I told him the most important thing I consume isn't on a plate. It's the social mirror. There is a terrifying study that says loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I've watched my friends retire and disappear. They stop seeing people. They stop being seen. And the moment the world stops looking at you, you start to fade away. I made a rule. I will never go 24 hours without a meaningful, face-to-face conversation with someone at least 20 years younger than me. Why younger? Because young people are looking at the future. Older people spend too much time looking at the past. By surrounding myself with the energy of the next, I keep my own internal clock synchronized with the present. I don't talk about my aches and pains. I talk about their dreams, their technology, and their world. It keeps my brain plastic, as the doctors say. It keeps the fire lit. Now, we come to the fifth habit. The one I told you was the most important. The one that actually made my doctor stop writing and just listen. He asked me, "Evelyn, after all these years, after all the loss and the change, why do you still look like you're enjoying yourself?" I told him about the selective memory filter. You see, most people carry their lives like a heavy backpack. Every mistake, every trauma, every should have and could have is a rock they put in that pack. By the time they're 70, the weight is so heavy they can't even look up at the sky. They are literally being crushed by their own history. I don't carry a backpack. Every night, as I lay my head on the pillow, I perform a system delete. I consciously forgive everyone who hurt me that day, including myself. I refuse to carry a single ounce of resentment into the next sunrise. Resentment is a poison you drink, hoping it will kill your enemies, but it only kills you. It wrinkles your face. It stoops your shoulders. It makes your blood thick and bitter. My doctor looked at me for a long time after I said that. He didn't say a word. He just closed my file, stood up, and shook my hand. He said, "I came in here to give you advice, but I think I'm the one who needs to take notes." I am 92 years old. My skin is thin, my hair is silver, and the world I was born into is long gone. But when I look in the mirror, I don't see an old woman. I see a survivor who figured out the cheat codes. I'm not inviting you to live forever. None of us can do that. But I am inviting you to stop dying before your time. I want you to look at your life right now. Are you fueling the fire, or are you smothering it? The habits I've shared with you aren't difficult. They don't cost a dime. But they require a level of respect for yourself that most people have forgotten. So here is my challenge to you. Don't wait until you're 92 to start living like you want to see 93. Pick one thing. Just one. Start tonight. Close the kitchen early. Move your body in a way you haven't in years. Forgive that person who doesn't deserve it. Because one day, you'll be sitting in a small white exam room, and a doctor will be looking at your chart with a look of pure shock. And in that moment, you'll realize that the greatest miracle isn't that you're still here. It's that you never actually left. I'll be waiting for you at the finish line. Don't let me down.